Hello friends and my viewers. Now today I'm going to discuss about an article which had been published in the Economic Times of today, which is related to protein shakes. Okay, that is very prevalent nowadays, and people are actually finding out ways to supplement the loss of protein or muscle protein after exercising, after gymming. So these protein shakes are becoming quite popular because they are an easy choice. They are very readily available and they can be prepared very easily, and people think that they get all essential amino acids also very easily and conveniently. Now, before I start with the discussion on this protein shake up, I would like to just say that YouTubers are there, influencers are there, that is, they are influencing through talks on YouTube. Mostly the health talks are becoming quite prevalent nowadays. So you will get varied information from various YouTube channels and all. But what happens is once a YouTuber attains or achieves the mark where they can earn through their YouTube discussions and all, at one level or after that level, what happens, they start talking about things which are advertised, or they start advertising certain brands and certain food items or components which are produced through companies. They will not tell you about the various bad effects about that particular food item or packaged food item or anything like that, but they will be talking about the benefits. So protein shakes have become much popular because most of the influencers and quite information on the social media handles, YouTubes and all, they have been attracting people, and their awareness has been created in such a direction that people think that protein shakes are quite good, beneficial and healthy. So I would say that we should be spreading information about various food components, about health, about nutrition, but it shouldn't be biased, or it shouldn't be an advertisement or a propaganda of some kind of a food component produced by companies. See, a propaganda means you are spreading false information about something. When we are talking about health, we have to be genuine in our discussion, and it should be a real discussion based on science and logic. It shouldn't be like just a kind of biased information, branding, or to make yourself popular. Okay, because we are not going to play with the health of people. So we have to be quite alert, and we have to be quite conscious of what we are speaking on our YouTube channels or social media, because that is influencing the people and people trust us. Okay, now, being from a scientific background, being a doctor, okay, and being a certified clinical nutritionist, I would never talk about something which is advertising something or which is going to promote something. I would talk about real health basis, our real health concepts, which I want people to be aware of, and I want to spread among people so that they remain healthy, disease free, and they can also reverse their disease conditions. So now we start the discussion. This article has been named as protein shake up. What happens is we see that young people, adolescents, even young children, they are gymming, they're going to gyms and all, they're doing some resistance training, muscle trainings and all. So they just try to incorporate protein shakes on a daily basis, which is becoming very prevalent nowadays. Now, some guidelines have been given by ICMR, okay, Indian Council of Medical Research, and its National Institute of Nutrition, that why we have to depend on protein shakes when we can get those good quality proteins from various food items which are present in our kitchen. Okay, so you can have that combination of essential amino acids through appropriate combination of foods and avoid supplements to build the muscle mass. So they were clearly said that you please avoid the supplements to build the muscle mass. And why they have advocated this? Because what happens is, whatever protein shakes which we are taking, protein powders we are taking as a quick fix, these contain added sugars, non-caloric sweeteners, that is the zero calorie sweeteners, artificial sweeteners and artificial flavors. So it's not going to be beneficial in the long run. You have to pay a price for that protein supplement you are taking, because aside from the essential amino acids, you are getting something which is not required in the body. I think that will be much problematic, because that is going to create an inflammatory state in the body, and that can cause more damage, more harm than benefit, which we think. Okay. Now, protein supplements are no longer the niche product they used to be before the pandemic. From busy professionals to celebrities, Indians are now increasingly asking, am I getting enough protein? This fear of missing out is spurring a multi-million dollar industry of protein powder, bars, and other protein-rich products. The lure of protein supplements is now forcing a re-examination of traditional Indian diets. It is also raising concern among health professionals about the indiscriminate use of protein supplements without the proper guidance or consideration for individual needs. On e-commerce platforms, high-performance protein powders are selling for rupees 2,000 to 6,800 for 2 to 3 kilograms of jars. So this is basically much of commercialization or business rather than health supplement, I would say, right here. Another thing is that it's not always required that you supplement your muscle protein. It's not that daily basis you have to supplement. Sometimes, we are not doing such aggressive muscle trainings that the protein has to be supplemented on daily basis, and you have to regularly take these protein supplements. Regular protein diet from natural food items, from the pulses and all, they can suffice the need for the protein which you have lost through exercises. Okay. Now, there's a myth. Will protein consumption alone help build muscle mass? No. Even if one takes high proteins of good quality, dietary protein is not utilized efficiently without adequate carbohydrates and fats in the diet. See, nature has provided us various food items naturally which are produced. All these have combinations. They are not produced alone. That we cannot say this component has only protein, that has only carbohydrate, that has only fat. Whatever food item you eat, they have the combination of protein, carbohydrate, and fat. So, taking alone a single kind of a constituent will not, provide you the proper nutrition which has to be required. So, there should be a complex of carbohydrate, fats, and protein together. Protein shouldn't be alone. So try to have combination diets to supplement the various losses, because when you're exercising, you're not only losing the protein, okay, you are also burning the glucose, also carbohydrate, you're burning some fat also. The body is depleted of all these three things. Okay, so you have to supplement these three. You shouldn't be thinking that protein supplements have to be taken more besides carbohydrates and fats. And sometimes what happens, the gym trainers, okay, they guide the people that you cut down on carbohydrates, come down to zero carbohydrate, come down to minimal fats, take more of protein. So it's like you are overloading the body with only protein. You're not having much of carbohydrate, you're not having much of fat, so your metabolism is totally disturbed, and the metabolism disturbance can lead to various illnesses. So you are basically harming the body. Now, another thing which had been written here is that one chief dietitian of AIMS, Delhi, they caution against the over-reliance on marketed products. As people's purchasing power increases, they are more likely to buy such marketed products, sometimes at the cost of their health. We should focus on generating awareness about food items that are available in our kitchens and local markets, and emphasize those instead. The problem is that despite growing protein consciousness among a section of people, India faces challenges in ensuring adequate protein intake for its population. Mostly, like people in the rural area, poor people, they're provided midday meals, or they are provided like free meals or something, they are mostly having cereals. Mostly they are high in carbohydrates. What we have to tackle in India is malnutrition, which is due to inadequate protein. So diet should be such that it has adequate amount of protein, carbohydrate and fat. A balanced diet is very, very important. We cannot sustain the health of any person, even a poor person residing in a rural area, but just providing them carbohydrates or cereals or poor quality food and say that, yeah, they have been provided their midday meals or they have been provided with their free meals, because that is doing more harm than benefit. So where the protein is required, where the malnutrition has to be tackled, which is due to protein deficiency, there we have to incorporate adequate amount of protein. Those who are already healthy residing in urban areas, they are just because of some kind of fashion or some kind of being in the modern era, following others, just for that they are taking the protein supplements. So that is not actually benefiting them. And also they are not following the traditional Indian diet, which contains adequate amount of protein, carbohydrate and fats. So that notion, which is changing from convenient processed powders and supplements, okay, which contains one of the three nutrients, okay, and then thinking that this will supplement the needs, that is actually not very, very you can say a positive aspect in regards to health, which is happening in our country. Then one another point was raised by Ames Delhi, that is more awareness of combining foods is very important to ensure adequate protein intake, as Indian diets are typically dominated in carbohydrates. Our diet is heavily focused on cereals, which are primarily carbohydrates. People often lack an understanding of what constitutes an ideal consumption or combination for high quality protein. To get all the essential amino acids, that is 20, and 9 of these are not synthesized by our bodies and must be obtained from our diet, we need to combine foods effectively. So combining foods effectively is very, very, very important, and we shouldn't be neglecting that. Okay. And one another comment has come that problem isn't with whey protein itself, that is the protein supplement, but with poor manufacturing practices and unnecessary additives found in many whey protein powders. That is, the additive is the basic problem which is happening. Okay. So this is a very big article. I cannot read the whole.